Alan, we continue the build-up to a monumental game in our season away at Rangers on Friday night. What's the latest team news building up to that game?
At this moment in time, everybody's fit, which is great news. We only have really one injury, which has been the long-term injury of Farid, and he's doing really well over the last last week. He's really stepped up his rehab, which is great for Farid, and it's given him a lot of confidence. So apart from that, everybody is fighting fit, and it's probably one of the first times this season that we've had a real clean bill of health. And
Dominique comes back into selection as well. That must be a massive boost for you heading into such a crucial time.
Well, there's lots of boosts, to be honest, because Keith comes back into the squad after being suspended last week. Martin does. Obviously, Dominique is available now. So we've got three real quality additions that are going to be added to last week's squad. So that's great news from my point of view. It's great news from the team's point of view, and it's what we've wanted all along. Is competition for places at this moment in time is very fierce.
Obviously, you're going to get Martin and Jason to learn French as well, because they're now in the minority in the forwards here at the football club, aren't they?
Yeah. I think regarding Martin, I think that might be easy for Martin to take up French. Jason, it might be
You need to learn English first, don't you?
Well, I don't want to say. I'm glad you said that. But on the pitch, football is a universal language, so it doesn't make any difference what country you come from. When that ball starts rolling, we all speak the same language.
So just looking at this game then against Rangers, everyone's going to be focusing on the situation that's happening over there at Ibrox. Do you feel that will work in our favour, that we can just focus on ourselves and just go in there, just get the job done?
I'm not really bothered on what's happening there. We're always focusing on ourselves, and we've got a lot of confidence in ourselves at this moment in time. If you're looking at our head-to-heads against Rangers, then that should fill us with a lot of confidence too. But this game is a completely different game again. It's not going to do us any harm, our previous performances against them, but Friday is completely different. It's on its own merits. It's a big game. I think it's there for everybody to see, and we are not focusing or using anything what's going on at Ibrox as a strength, a weakness whatsoever. We are purely focused on ourselves.
Moving back to the topic of strikers briefly, if we can, Lewis Allen agreed a contract extension. That was announced yesterday morning. Yeah. He proceeded to go and score a hat-trick for the development team in the afternoon. So you must be pleased with the progress that he's making.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. He's coming along nicely, and he needs more experience, but he's doing everything that we would want of him at this moment in time. He's still got a long way to go in his development, but he's, as a striker, he's scoring goals. He's got some really good attributes that a striker needs, and he's strong, he's powerful. He needs to keep improving on certain aspects and areas of his game, which we will keep working with him, and he will get better, and he'll get the benefits from that. And he may be something that we may look at, possibly trying to get him some experience at first team level and all. Whether that's going out on loan, or we'll decide in the very near future what we think's best for Lewis.
He's the latest academy graduate to really be challenging for a first team place. The oldest academy graduate here at the club is Lewis Stevenson. Yeah. Last weekend he reached the 250 appearance mark for the club. Just how pleased have you been with Lewis in terms of getting the best out of him and giving him that steady run in the side?
I've been more than pleased. I've been delighted with his not just his performances, but just his attitude as a footballer and as a human being. He's a great person to have around the football club. When we can get him to speak, you see a lot of personality come out, but sometimes he's a man of few words, but as a professional footballer, he's a credit to himself and his family. To have come through what he's come through, it's a dying situation now. Players spending 10 years and more at football clubs. It's, especially in this day and age where the influx of players from here and abroad makes it even more difficult now. And the fact that he's done it is a fantastic achievement, and hopefully there's a lot more to come.
Because he obviously before your appointment, 7, almost 8 years ago now, he was man of the match in a cup final for Hibs, and everyone spoke about him as really being the next big thing. Yeah. Do you feel that now we are starting to see the best of Lewis Stevenson, that you've found his ideal position at left back, and also just looking at a player that you worked with previously, Leighton Baines? I know they've got similar types of haircut, but are they similar types of players as well, would you say, in terms of what they bring to the equation?
Well, I think first and foremost is that Lewis has found it himself. I haven't found a position for Lewis. I've just played him in a position where I felt he was going to benefit from, and it would suit his game more. The rest has been down to Lewis. He's the one that steps over the white line. I'm the one who just prepares them and helps them and gives them information, and the rest is Lewis taking it on board, and he deserves all the credit for that. He's a player that every manager wants, because you know exactly what's on the tin. You know exactly what you're going to get week in, week out. His level of performance is consistently good all the time. And as a manager, that's what you want. You don't want from one extreme to the other, week in and week out. And he's been very, very good since the day I walked in. To say he's one of the older ones is probably feels quite strange, because he's got them boyish looks, which makes him look a lot younger. But
he's growing a beard now, though.
He's growing a beard, but I think we can all do that. But he's everything that comes his way at this moment in time, he deserves everything. That he deserves all the plaudits, because he's been a real pleasure to work with. Gets on with it, doesn't moan, not like Scott Allen. He's complete opposite. You could whatever you do with Scotty, he moans no matter whether it's something he enjoys. With Lewis, he's just the ultimate pro.
Because everyone has a role to play in this team, don't they? And that you need the right balance of maybe your gifted players and your solid professionals and quick players. Everyone. From
1 to 18, 19 in the squad, everybody is as important as whoever thinks is the best player, in my eyes. You have the players who get all the recognition. You have the players who get no recognition. For me, they are just as important, because they all have to mix into the excuse me, into the ingredients and the balance of the team and the makeup of the team, which is the reasons for success. You'll get the strikers, you'll get the majority of the plaudits, and some of the midfield players, because they're the ones who are in positions to win games. Defenders very rarely, hoard the headlines. But for me, there's no players, and I don't want it to be in my team. Everybody is as important as the next person, because the star man needs the players to make him a star man. Yeah. If you haven't got them players, then you have no star man. Yeah. So from 1 to 18, everybody is treated exactly the same way, and in my eyes, they're all as important as each other.
On the topic of unsung heroes, and finally, Paul Hanlon, he was assigned the task of marking Simon Murray last weekend, who's probably one of the informed strikers in Scotland at the moment, and he coped with him pretty comfortably. How pleased have you been with Paul as well, because he does look like a class act, especially in the Scottish Championship?
He's been very good. His understanding and reading of the game is very good, and when you can read the game and try and anticipate things that are potentially going to happen next, it can save you a lot of work and a lot of running. And sometimes people don't see that. But him and Liam have got a real good understanding at this moment in time, and he've built up a partnership, a relationship, which as defenders is very, very important. You know, I always feel as if, not necessarily, and I don't mean this about them, but you don't have to be the best players in the world to create a good partnership. As long as you know what the player next year is thinking, is going to do, that can be as good as having two fantastic players. You know, having two brilliant players as individuals as centre-backs doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a good partnership. And for me, defenders, good and having a good defence is about partnerships. And the two centre-backs is a really important partnership. Same as right back with the centre-back, same as the opposite side left back with the centre-back, and the same with the keeper and the whole back four. It's all about partnerships and understanding, and you know, they've done well recently. They've done very well. There's been a couple of blips along the way, but you know that can happen. You know, but the response that I've had from them all the time has been great.